Hey everybody, it's Jason Tuno. Today I'm going to be giving you my tips and tricks on how to photograph yourself. In this video, I'm going to be talking about 3 different techniques on how to photograph yourself from least ideal to most ideal. So I have 3 major tips for the least ideal circumstances. Maybe you have a beginner's camera or an older camera. Your camera does not have an articulating screen or Wi-Fi capabilities to use your phone as a shutter release. Tip number 1 is all about composition. Study your framing, know the photo you're going for, picture it in your head so that way when you hit your shutter button and you're counting down, you know exactly where you need to be when the shutter goes off. Tip number 2, focus, focus, focus. Focus can save a photo or ruin it. Put your bag in the frame, put a shoe in the frame, a stick in the ground, anything that can give you a focus point. So when you set your focus, you know your frame is going to be tack sharp. All right, so you've checked out your camera and you have a swivel screen. Congratulations. Your self-shooting just got a lot easier. Thanks to your articulating screen, composition just became a lot easier. Turn that screen around, see your frame, and know where you are in each photo you take. So tip number 1 for your articulating screen ideal situation is still focus, focus, focus. Like I said in the first set of tips, put something in your frame, a bag, Photoshop it out later, anything that can help you nail your focus, because focus is the difference between a tack sharp image and a slightly out of focus image you make black and white and call it art. Is that harsh? Tip number 2, use that articulating screen. It is there for a reason. In this video, I'm using a Canon 70D, by no means a new camera. Came out in 2012, I think. So articulating screens, even on a little bit older camera, can still be super useful when photographing yourself. What tip number am I on? Tip number 3. Tip number 3? Use the right f-stop. Think about your image, think about where you are, think about the message you're trying to relay in your photograph. If you're in a pretty place, show off that pretty place. Shoot f10. Don't shoot 2.0. It also gives you a longer focus throw, so just in case you did miss your focus a little bit, it won't be as big of a difference. All right, so I wanted to take a second and thank the sponsor for this video, which is Cuts Clothing. Cuts Clothing just dropped a brand new pair of AO joggers, which are easily the most comfortable pants I have ever worn in my life. Cuts designs their clothes for the modern professional. Engineered for versatility, designed for movement, and created for an everyday wear, these AO joggers are a shape retention, minimal branding, come with a clean front and rear elastic ankle cuff, a hidden pocket that I find perfect for my car keys, and a perfect fitting waistband. Made with Cuts' very own Versinic fabric, these are super lightweight and super comfortable. Super versatile, they look great in almost any setting, and they've really become a staple piece in my wardrobe. Already a bestseller on Cuts' website, go on over to cutsclothing.com, get yourself a pair in every color, use the discount code I'll link in the description, get yourself a little bit of a discount, and thanks again to Cuts Clothing for sponsoring this video. So for the most ideal situation, your camera has Wi-Fi capabilities. Woo! When it comes to photographing yourself, you just won the lottery. Being able to use your phone as a trigger makes all the difference in the world. Thankfully, this is how I'm able to do most of my photos. My primary camera is a Canon 5D Mark IV. Anything from setting focus to exposure you can do from the palm of your hand in front of your camera. So from a longtime user of this method, and it is by far my preferred method, here are my top tricks and tips and tricks to getting the best photograph of yourself shot by yourself. My camera thankfully has face tracking as an option. If you have face tracking, use face tracking. Tip number 1, face tracking. Face tracking eliminates one of the biggest factors that can mess up a photo, and it is easily one of the most relieving things to have. Tip number 2, focus tracking and servo. So if you're anything like me, you are garbage at posing. Something I found helpful when I have to be in a photograph is to move. Anything from walking to a playful heel click in the air. Servo forces your camera to refocus every time it takes a photo. So when using burst mode from your phone, you can hold down your trigger, the camera will refocus each frame, and using your focus tracking, it will track you. Tip number 3, the 2-second timer. Typically, I would call the 2-second timer close to being one of the most useless things that a camera comes with. But thankfully, your camera has a Wi-Fi function. So that 2-second timer will give you just enough time once you've composed your shot and hit your shutter button to hide your phone out of frame, so that way when you get that perfect shot, you're not standing there with your phone in your hand. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope that my tricks and tips help you guys get some incredible photos of yourself, and I will be seeing you all in the next one.